Hello everyone and welcome to the fourth and final topic for this Python course. The subject for today is functions in Python. So what are functions? Functions are tools that really help modularize your code when you build programs larger than just a few lines of code. They are blocks of code that you define to be later called upon to do some work for you. Essentially, they contain code that you write which gets executed every time you tell your computer to use that function. Functions are initialized with the def keyword, def, followed by the name of the function, opening and closing parentheses. So for example, I have a function called print something. So the way I define this is def keyword and then the name of the function, which is print something, followed by a set of parentheses, and then I put a colon at the end. Following which I put in what I want the function to execute, which is print something like water. So a function is defined with the def keyword and then the name of the function, parentheses, colon, and then whatever you want your function to do inside of this block after the colon. So what happens if I execute this? Will it print water? Let's see. It's connecting to the Google engine right now. Google Colab is connecting to the Google servers, and Google's hardware is used when you execute something on Google Colab. So this does not print out anything. Why does that happen? Remember that we've just defined the function for now. The function has been defined, but we haven't yet told our computer to execute it. We haven't called the function yet. So to call a function, that is to use it, we write the name of the function followed by a set of parentheses. So the name of the function is print something and then a set of parentheses. Let's see what happens now. Water. So we define the function and then call the function. And when you call the function, this gets executed and it prints out water. The cool thing about functions is that you can use them over and over and over again without having to rewrite the function's code. You may be wondering what's the use of these parentheses over here. Well, they're there for a reason, to insert arguments, that is values or initials that you want the function to use. Say for example, we have a function that converts Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, to US dollars. We define that as convert to USD, def convert to USD, and a parameter for this will be the number of Bitcoins that we want to convert to USD. And we return a value from this function which has the conversion factor put in. So the user will have to specify a Bitcoin value, BTC, which is the variable for that value, when calling this function convert to USD, and this function will multiply this by the conversion factor 257 and then return that result. So it will give the user this result by returning it, BTC times 257. So let's try it out by calling it. Convert to USD, let's say 300 Bitcoin, and this gives us the equivalent in US dollars. You can also have default arguments for a function. So say a user forgets to mention what value they want to convert over here. You can specify a default value that gets converted every time the user calls it. So if there is no initialization specified when the function is called, the default value as provided will be used. For example, a function which welcomes a user can be defined as follows, and we use the def keyword, name of the function, parentheses, argument inside the parentheses, which is user, and we specify the default value of this argument, that is this variable user, as Zappy in quotes, which is a string, as you might remember from our second tutorial. So the default value of user is Zappy. So if someone does not mention any value for user when the function is called, the function will automatically use the value Zappy as the value for user. And we define the function as if user equal to Robert, print hello Rob. So if the user fails to initialize as either Robert or Gardner, it will print user. And when will this happen? Him failing to initialize this as either Robert or Gardner. When this happens, the default value will be Zappy, and hence Zappy will be printed here. So if we do this twice, calling the function once with the value Robert and the other time with no arguments, we see that hello Rob and Zappy are printed out on the screen. And this is an example of using default arguments with functions. That's it for this course. We covered introductions, arithmetic, variables and strings, conditional statements, loops, and now we've discussed functions today. I hope you had as much fun learning as I did teaching this content. You now have a very powerful tool in your computational arsenals, which you can use to create computer software without bounds. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you learned a lot from this course.